Welcome into the Week 2 recap. As always, we will start with the redraft. Leftist Tears 1-1 defeats the Red Carpets 0-2, 140.26 to 109.76. Leftist Tears rebounds from a Week 1 loss, downing a low-scoring Red Carpets team. The QBs led the way, combining for over 50 points. Mike Evans also impresses, going for 171 yards and a touchdown against the Bears. Leftist Tears evens the all-time series against the Red Carpets to 1-1. Gumpy Glizzies 2-0 defeats Bills Mafia 1-1, 117.94 to 86.9. Gumpy Glizzies makes easy work of the lowest scoring team this week, Bills Mafia. They used Dak Prescott and Christian McCaffrey's 20-plus point output to get the victory despite scoring in the bottom half this week. Gumpy Glizzies records their fourth win against Bills Mafia in 10 all-time attempts. The Stoners 1-1 defeats Nico's League 0-2, 175.62 to 109.82. The Stoners rack up the points and post an impressive total to give Nico's League their second loss on the young season. Each of Jared Goff, Saquon Barkley, Raheem Mostert, and the Cowboys defense close in on the 20-point mark on the way to the win. The Stoners remain unbeaten all-time against Nico's League in the 3 matchup played between the teams. No pun intended, 2-0 defeats Scoop the Delinquent 1-1, 152.64 to 135.76. No pun intended squeaks by in a close affair with rival Scoop the Delinquent. It came down to Monday Night Football, with Deshaun Watson underperforming for Scoop. The all-time series for these two franchises was tied 7-7 going into this week, but no pun intended breaks the tie in the 15th contest between these rivals. Steel Curtain 2-0 defeats Washington Rednecks 0-2, 149.64 to 113.54. Steel Curtain keeps the win streak alive in their trophy defense, this time against the Washington Rednecks. This won't feel like a win, though, as Nick Chubb suffers a gruesome injury that will surely sideline him for the rest of the season. This is Steel Curtain's 4th win in the 6 total attempts against the Washington Rednecks. Our Week 3 redraft power rankings. Starting at the bottom at number 10, moving down 1 spot, Nico's League. At number 9, moving down 1 spot, the Red Carpets. At number 8, moving up 2 spots, the Stoners. At number 7, staying put, no pun intended. At number 6, staying put, Steel Curtain. At number 5, moving down 2 spots, Bills Mafia. At number 4, moving up 1 spot, the Washington Rednecks. At number 3, moving up 1 spot, Leftist Tears. At number 2, staying put, Scoop the Delinquent. And remaining in the number 1 spot is Gumpy Glizzies. Our Week 3 game of the week is Gumpy Glizzies 2-0 versus Scoop the Delinquent 1-1. We'll see what happens with Jalen Waddle being in the concussion protocol, but Gumpy Glizzies should be favored in what could be a fun matchup. Moving on to Dynasty. Stratton Oakmont Inc. 1-1 defeats the Scoop Empire 0-2, 142.62 to 138.42. Stratton Oakmont Inc. uses Deshaun Watson late on Monday night to surpass the Scoop Empire and record their first win of the season. Raheem Mostert shows out with Jeff Wilson injured, finding the end zone twice in his over 25-point performance. The Scoop Empire falls to 0-2 with a very important game against divisional foe Prestige Worldwide next week. Gump Dynasty 2-0 defeats Sneaky Raccoon 74 1-1, 151.74 to 117.86. Gump Dynasty shines, tallying the highest score of the week. They do it on the back of Giants quarterback Daniel Jones, who accounts for 3 total touchdowns on his way to 34.24 fantasy points. Sneaky Raccoon 74 takes a big hit, likely losing Browns running back Nick Chubb for the season. They will have to call on Jahmyr Gibbs, Joshua Kelly, Breece Hall, and Tyler Algier to hold down the backfield when they go up against Nico's Dream Team in Week 3. Cumber Dynasty 2-0 defeats Prestige Worldwide 1-1, 134.44 to 104.24. Cumber Dynasty uses the performances from Josh Allen and Bijan Robinson to lead in a victory over Prestige Worldwide. Prestige Worldwide had a struggle of a week, with Zay Jones, Tyler Higbee, Dalvin Cook, Dameon Pierce, and Odell Beckham Jr. all combining for 8 total points. Cumber Dynasty continues their hot streak and remains the team to beat this season. Nico's Dream Team 1-1 defeats I Am They 0-2, 139.5 to 131.24. Nico's Dream Team barely passes I Am They by, taking their first win of the season. The QB duo of Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff proved to be essential for the win, combining for nearly 50 points. While I Am They did suffer their second straight loss, things are looking brighter. With Jerome Ford now starting in Cleveland and Kyren Williams getting the bulk of the work in LA, I Am They might not have to toss this season away after all. Our Week 3 Dynasty Power Rankings, starting from the bottom, staying put is I Am They. At number 7, staying put is Nico's Dream Team. At number 6, staying put is Prestige Worldwide. At number 5, staying put is Stratton Oakmont Inc. At number 4, staying put is the Scoop Empire. At number 3, moving down one spot is Sneezy Raccoon 74. At number 2, moving up a spot is Gump Dynasty. And remaining in the number 1 spot is Cumber Dynasty. Our Week 3 game of the week in Dynasty is Cumber Dynasty 2-0 versus Stratton Oakmont Inc. 1-1. This matchup has all the tools of an incoming shootout. We'll have to see if Stratton Oakmont Inc. can finally stop the bull that is Cumber Dynasty. We also have a Dynasty trade alert. For the first time, we'll be announcing a brand new trade on the weekly recap because this just came in late yesterday. Gump Dynasty receives Antonio Gibson and Gus Edwards, and I Am They receives Baker Mayfield. With Aaron Rodgers out for the season, I Am They finds their next staple quarterback in Baker Mayfield. And now with 2 starting running backs to replace Gibson and Edwards, I Am They could look to make a run even when most counted them out. All right, thanks for listening. We'll move on to the Idle League. And for the Idle League, we're going to get a little funnier. We'll go a little funnier. We'll probably keep it for the rest of the season. We'll see. E. Savages barely edges Bucknuts on Monday Night Football. Elijah Moore just needed around 13 points to give Bucknuts the victory, but Deshaun Watson couldn't hit the side of an Asian massage parlor, even if he was standing 6 inches from it. Chad's personal shop back shocks the entire universe and matches their win total from last season. They do so by beating the second highest scoring team and making everyone question why they even play fantasy in the first place. The Fudge Packers win a low-scoring affair over Death, whose fantasy team name is almost as confusing as their draft strategy. The United States Postal Service apparently does deliver on Sundays, moving their way to 2-0 over Red Riders, whose trophy defense is going about as well as their recent fling. Show Them TDs top slower ponies after a fairly high-scoring game. Show Them TDs loses Nick Chubb for the season, though, because for some reason nobody in the NFL wants to stay healthy. Our Week 3 Idle League Power Rankings, starting at the bottom, not moving from last week, is Death. At number 9, moving down 2 spots, is Red Riders. At number 8, moving up a spot, Influence Driving. At number 7, moving up a spot, the United States Postal Service. At number 6, staying put, is Fudge Packers. At number 5, moving down a spot, Slower Ponies. At number 4, moving down 2 spots, Bucknuts. At number 3, staying put, East Savages. At number 2, moving up 3 spots, is Chad's personal shop back. And at number 1, staying put, is Show Them TDs. And our Week 3 Game of the Week for Idle League is East Savages 2-0 versus Show Them TDs 2-0. All right. That'll do it for the fantasy recap for Week 2. We will see everyone in Week 3.